Seriously, are we going to be replaced? Recently, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Pink Floyd's classic rock album, The Dark Side of the Moon, they ran an animation contest where winners had their creations serve as actual music videos for the songs. There was a 127,000 prize pool for that competition, and one of the winners was an AI-generated video. Artists are mad, as you can see, but that's a futile reaction. In this video, we're going to take a different angle and try to actually learn from this constructively as traditional artists. How bad are things right now? Is it going to get worse? What should we do about it? Let's get into it. Part 1. A bad AI video. So let's first take a look at the video for a moment. Alright, now to each their own taste, but I think if this was all AI had to offer, we'd be perfectly safe from it. We could expect a quick peak in its usage, and then people would quickly get bored of it. But it's not all it has to offer. This is a pretty awful example of the potential of AI. There are a few things that we can notice about the video. First of all, it's not fully made with AI. The creator used 3D software to guide the AI model with 3D rendered images. Artistic skills were still somewhat required to make it. And if we get to the video itself, I think personally that it's visually tiring and it's confusing to the eye. Sure, the idea of varying the aspect of things over and over is somewhat interesting, but that's all there is in the video, and it quickly gets boring. If I can get bored of it in a 3-minute video, I don't think this is a form of rendering arts that's gonna last long in entertainment and pose a threat to artists. Finally, there's a big reason why this is really just a toy example and not representative of the looming threats of AI over artists. The reason is simple. The AI model that was used to generate this music video is not even a video model. It's Stable Diffusion, an image model, and not even the best one at that. The creator just made repeated calls to it and put the images back to back to form an animation. If a mere toy example was enough to earn Pink Floyd's approval, what kind of damage will more complete, professional, and impressive usage of AI do? Part 2. Future Threats. I have to say preemptively that this section is going to sound quite sad as an artist, but this is not my personal view. I think that as artists, we are entering a super challenging and rich period of art, where we will be challenged to rise to the occasion and discover talents inside ourselves that artists of previous generations had never suspected. But I'll get more into that in the next part. So, there's a much scarier AI model out there that's not yet available to the public. I covered it in depth in another video, going into what it means for artists. This is a model by OpenAI, designed to work specifically on videos, and it's crazy. Now, to me that kind of stuff would have won if it had been available to the public at the time of the competition. And remember, this is where video models stood a few months ago. So the companies keep making progress, trying to leave us in the dust, but they won't because they can't, and I'll let you know why later in the video. So, to keep listing scary things about AI that haven't yet taken full effect, and that we have to be aware of as artists, one of them is that AI already kind of knows aesthetics, and it's going to learn more and more as time goes. You're going to have researchers in the domain of aesthetics who will teach it to the AI, for instance, and then release it for everyone to use. That's a scary perspective. This is a good way also into my next point, that AI use for now is quite standardized. Everyone kind of uses it exactly the same way. Put in a prompt and get your results. But as demonstrated by this music video that we're talking about, individual users will begin to come up with new ways of exploiting the AI. Painters with a scientific bent, for instance, will find ways to model the way that paint spreads on the canvas to make the AI imitate it perfectly, and then they might change the physical parameters of their simulation and thus have the AI create completely new effects. Given the ease of access to AI and its immediate reward aspects, you must expect a lot of this in the future. The last thing I'll say in this section, and the one most perfectly exemplified by this music video, is that we as artists cannot rely on society to save us. The people complaining about this music video are the vocal minority. In the future, there's going to be more and more acceptance of AI by society. We may or may not have reached the peak of anti-AI sentiments, but the truth is that it's going to fade away, and eventually creative work being done by AI will be business as usual, and people won't care. Let's face it, Pink Floyd don't care. So, is it all over for us? As promised, let's get into it. Part 3. What to do then? The past few years have been rough for us artists. As an AI researcher, I personally saw this AI art thing coming from miles away, but I committed to the practice of art because my very knowledge of AI gave me the intuition that there's still a lot that humans have to offer. And I think after the initial pushback by artists against AI through lawsuits and strikes, there's going to be another, more interesting pushback through inventiveness, creation, and amazing displays of purely human ingenuity. On this channel, I am dedicated to being a part of this movement, but this is a community effort. Together, we can figure this out much better than if it's just me making the videos on my own. So I'd love for you to give me your input in the comments. What was your opinion on the Pink Floyd AI generated video? More generally, if you're an artist, how are you reacting to AI? Let me know, and I'll be very, very grateful. So moving on, in the spirit of the Art Post AI channel, we're going to see what we can learn about AI from this AI music video, and then how we can apply that in our art direction in the future. If we look at what the AI is doing in that video, we find certain things that it does very well, and on which we should avoid competing with it unless we want to waste our time. First, the video is basically just a bunch of variations over a slowly moving composition. Text-based AIs are great at brainstorming shallowly clever concepts. They have a quick, superficial kind of wittiness. This has an equivalent in image AIs. They are great at reimagining things in a slightly different way. They can come up with infinitely new ideas as long as you're not looking for anything too meaningful. So as artists, we shouldn't rely on quirks and merely interesting aspects of our skills. Our art should go beyond. The second advantage of AI that is showcased in this work is its sheer ability for volume. One by one, AI generated all the images in the music video to a great level of detail. It's not that humans couldn't have done this. One counterexample is the 2023 Polish movie The Peasants, which is entirely hand-painted, but that this would have taken humans months to make. For that movie that I just mentioned, 150 painters spent over 200,000 hours in total, excruciatingly painting each image. This kind of tremendous effort will become more and more pointless as AI techniques are developed to get the same results in a few hours. Last is professionalism. This AI-generated video looks super professional. Every image is detailed. The movement is followed smoothly, and there is a lot of information in every image. How complete it looks is probably a big part of why it was picked as a winner in the Pink Floyd competition. But if we're talking about the future of art, one might argue that this video looking so professional might be a problem. In fact, it looks too professional. Think about it. A big part of why we like art is because we appreciate and admire the artist's efforts. We relate to them. An example of this is another entry that didn't win the competition for Pink Floyd music videos. This entry was much more organic. Take a look at it. And if we look at the comments, there is no doubt. In fact, I think one direction that artists will have to take in the future is to purposely make their art unprofessional to display their humanity. It'll be very interesting as artists to try our best to show our skills while not being so professional as to look like an AI. Such a game of subtlety is exciting, don't you think? I will say this, it's a fairly probable trend in the next few years that you'll have this cat and mouse game between artists who don't use AI and those who do. The first category coming up with a new organic style and the latter scrambling to catch up. So prepare yourself for that possibility. Alright, here's what to take away from this video. First, this AI-generated music video is a very bad omen if we were counting on AI going away. It's far from the best AI has to offer, yet was approved by one of the most influential bands of all time. Second, the real threats lie in the new, more impressive models that are coming out little by little in the public's growing acceptance of AI art, and in the multiplication of AI use cases as it becomes used by more and more interesting and creative people. Third, we've seen qualities of AI art displayed in the Pink Floyd video. AI's professionalism, its shallow creativity, and its ability to produce art super fast are all characteristics that we should avoid as artists. We have to go beyond. Phew, that was a pretty productive video. But I think we can make this even more productive by discussing the topic in the comments. So go ahead and state any opinion of yours on the matter. Ask questions, share your thoughts, your predictions on the future, or your methods to fight the AI. I'll read and answer to every single comment. And if you want to join the effort, consider subscribing to the Art Post AI channel and stay tuned for new videos very soon. I'll see you guys next time.
Farewell to the strokes, the shades, the lines. Bye bye, AI. Bye bye to the visions born.